Good evening, everyone. I'm Thaddeus Fitzpatrick. And, ooh, that is a nice picture. I'm a senior majoring in theater and minoring in communication studies. And tonight I'm here to talk to you about confidence and what it means for an actor in our field. And so, without further ado, let's get started. Here we are. Webster's dictionary defines confidence as confidence, noun, a feeling or consciousness of one's powers or reliance on one's circumstances. And it is with confidence that I can say, I am a crier. Crier, as defined by Webster's dictionary. Crier, noun, an officer who proclaims the orders of the court, or B, one that cries. I am the latter. I cry at everything. Anyone, if you're sitting next to a friend of mine, I know there's some right here, there's some right there, they will tell you, he cries at everything. But one thing in particular that I cry during are movies. So, if you have not seen this movie, you are dead to me. This is one movie in particular that I cried during. Now, in the part that I cried was when the puppies were getting stolen. This poor maid is over the care of these dogs, these adorable little dogs, and they hired her. She is basically the babysitter of them. Imagine, if you will, if you were a babysitter of 17 dogs, children, and they got kidnapped in your care. So during this movie, I felt horrible that these dogs got kidnapped, but I felt worse for the maid, and so I cried. I did. I cried for her, and I was like, I cannot believe, like, she was in the care of, and she was the babysitter, and they got stolen. She's fired. She is so fired, and in this economy, too. And it was around this time that I saw 101 Dalmatians for the first time. Now, the girl on the other side, that is my sister, Dana, and the boy on the other side is my cousin, Jamal. Now, anyone who knows me in this room knows that I've never told this story to you, so don't be surprised, or be surprised by it, I guess. When I was around 5 or 6, this picture was taken when I was 2, I was over at Jamal's house, and, oh boy, here we go. I was over at Jamal's house, and we went to his parents' room to play, and they had a gun. And Jamal took it out to play with, and he accidentally shot himself. And he died. And this is when I was about 5 years old. And it was during this time that I started to get this feeling about death and about how short life is. And how you can't waste time doing something that you're not really committed to, or that you're not passionate about, or that you can't see yourself affecting people through. Which is why I chose to be an actor. I am an actor, or one who represents a character in a dramatic production, or B, a theatrical performer, or C, one who behaves as if acting a part, or D, a liar. I lied. That story didn't happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I really am sorry. I thoroughly apologize for that. But I see there are some wet eyes in the room. And as an actor, that's what my job is. is to remind you of those feelings, because if I were not here to remind you of those feelings, we would look upon things like this and we would not care. We would read the newspaper and we would say, oh, it's just another shooting. But when I make it personal to you, that's when you start caring. So to get you back on my side, I cried during, that puppy is adorable. I cried during The Iron Giant. Now, that movie, there is a scene where, and those who don't know this movie, if you haven't seen it, oh, God. You have no soul. There is a little boy, and this giant he befriends from another planet, I'm guessing, and this giant has to save this whole town because there is a bomb heading towards that particular town. In the end, the giant is heading towards the bomb that's fixing to hit the town to sacrifice himself for the rest of the town, and the iron robot goes, "I'm Superman." Boom, and explodes. And it was the saddest thing I'd ever seen. And like, just when I cry, it's ugly tears. Just it's not even like the pretty like one teardrop like manly like yeah. It's like I ugly cried during that scene. But, I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you asked a question about Sanford Meisner. And it's funny because he had a quote. That said, the American actor is very lucky because so little is asked of him. And what that means is, as an actor, we pride ourselves in being responsible for making sure that everyone takes care of the human experience. By human experience, I mean that we're staying in touch with those emotions, like the emotions I made you feel when I was telling you that story, for instance. So, as an actor, it's my job to highlight the emotional connections we have as human beings. So all I have to be is human as my job, right? That's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, correct? Wrong. Because everyone in this room has a different perspective on things. So that's why everything is subjective. When you see something that's real, what may be real to me may not be real to you because everyone has different life experiences. So, which is where confidence comes into play. In my career and in my job, I have to play different characters. And I have to sell you these characters and play them as convincingly as possible. So, I have to take care of you as my audience members and try to play a character that you may have seen before, but in a new way, but you're still going to connect to, which is very, very difficult sometimes because everyone's going to have a different perspective. But that's the challenge that I've accepted as an actor. So, one last film that I've cried during. You cannot judge me, all right? Spice World, the Spice Girls movie. Okay, listen! Don't you dare judge me. I made my father take me to go see Spice World when I was 8 years old. And when I say you have not known disappointment in one's child than a father holding his son's hand, walking him into the Spice Girls movie, and him crying during it, there is no disappointment worse in the world. But watching this movie, the ending of this movie, I was crying with excitement because if anyone who's seen this movie knows, in the end, they come together, do a performance at Albert Hall, and they're singing Spice Up Your Life, and la la la, and it's great. They have the lights and the confetti and everything, and people screaming, performing for thousands of people. And so that excitement of that moment just made me cry. I was just like, ah! And my dad was like, oh my God. And so, but watching that movie made me realize that I want to do that with people. I want to do that to people. I want to get on a stage and make them feel something. I want to make them laugh. I want to make them cry. I want to make them feel anything and affect them through that, through performance, whether it be on a stage or whether it be on a screen. What if I were to tell you that the Spice Girls were revolutionary? Now you laugh, some of you, but to someone, they were. To somebody, the Spice Girls, this girl group, yes, they were revolutionary. Because revolutionary, that very word is subjective, just like everyone's experiences in this room. Revolutionary is defined by Merriam-Webster as bringing about a major or fundamental change. That's all one has to do to be revolutionary. It doesn't have to be a huge change, although on some of the ads out here for Tide Talks, you saw John Lennon, revolutionary. You saw Michael Jackson's feet with the toes and everything. He was revolutionary. You saw Steve Jobs. Yes, he was revolutionary, but what if to someone in this room they weren't? Which is a possibility. But it's my job as an actor to say why. It's my job as an actor to say what makes them revolutionary. How many people do they affect? That's what many people look at to see if they're revolutionary. But to be revolutionary, as defined by the dictionary, you have to make a major or fundamental change. Not in how many people. It could be a very small change in someone. In someone. So to me, when I went to see Spice World with my father, that was revolutionary. Which led me to where I'm standing today, wanting to be an actor, wanting to be on a stage or in a film, wanting to affect people the way I am right now. So, revolutionary. I think that's the kind of actor I want to be. Thank you.